And I'm going to introduce our congressman who is working hard for us in DC. A lot of you worked on his campaign, and we're happy to have him here today talking with us about what's going on in Congress. So if you could please make some noise for Congressman Ralph Norman.
Thank y'all. I didn't expect that. Let me give this to Tom right quick. Anybody wants, we've got great pictures, we recognize people. Tom, you've done a tremendous job. Thank you for what you're doing. This is a great turnout. Thank y'all for coming. I wish I could come more often. I told Tom I'm either flying out on a Monday to Tuesday and don't get back until late Thursday and more often Friday. But, as Tyler said, this is very important, particularly now. And I'm so glad I did what I did. The timing was as much time and money that it took. Votes do matter. Who we elect does matter. If you look at what's going on in this country, if you look at the tax cuts, and I give President Trump credit for that. Anybody making $54,000 a year does not pay taxes. Every one of the brackets came down 3%. 529 plans for homeschoolers is in effect, and more dollars are being deducted. The standard deduction, child tax credit. It's all good as putting money in your pocket and not giving it to the government. And when I see the Democrats, they have no plan. And being up there now, it's more important now, folks, to get involved. As Tyler says, they're mad. They're excited. I have been targeted in this race. I've been targeted. Nancy Pelosi is so excited. Midterms in off-election years are typically good for the Democrats. I don't think it's going to happen. But I will tell you, if we stay at home and don't get actively involved, it'll be tough. But I think the American people, particularly with what we're doing, look at what he's doing, what we have done for the short time I've been up there, 8 months? Tax reform, energy independence, ANWR. He's opened up 200,000 acres. Keystone Pipeline, conservative judges. This is what's happening. I didn't know, as far as the tax cuts, why it was so hard to get. Now I know firsthand. It's so segmented. You got the groups, y'all heard of SALT, state and local property taxes. You've got states like California that wouldn't vote for this tax cut, even though it was good for the country. In their own little world, they just wouldn't go with it. We had a 24-vote margin to pass tax reform. And I can tell you the businesses are excited about what's going on. The regulations that this man has cut has been unbelievable. I've been all over the 5th District. In my off time, I go to the companies and say, what can we do better? What do we need? They say, Ralph, what y'all are doing with the regulations particularly are going to enable me to invest and put dollars back into the economy. Look at the 350 companies that are giving tax breaks. They're giving bonuses. And that has not happened in 31 years. It's happened now. And I can tell you, this president has gotten on the phone, and he's a master negotiator. He calls at 2 in the morning, people. And it's amazing. And the press hate him. If you could be in Washington, D.C. and wake up every morning, the headlines of every newspaper, they're down on Donald Trump. The memos, the memos that y'all heard about, the Russia investigations. We saw the secret memos. Folks, it's not an indictment of the FBI, but you had certain FBI members who took information that was paid for by Hillary Clinton and the Democrats. Checks were given. That's why, and to not have, all the Republicans voted to release it. 0 Democrats voted to release it. And we voted to release both of them, the Republican memo and the Democrat. They were smart. The Democrats put some things in there that had to be redacted. And now they're saying that that Trump's playing politics. He's not. He relies, that goes through 3 stages of people reviewing it before he can release it. So it's a great time to be there. We're making a real difference. And I will tell you, this election isn't going to be easy, but you know, to not get any votes on tax reform, to not get anything done on releasing the memos, this gun thing now. I mean, the last day I was there, all the Democrats came forward. It was just for show. Got to think, what are you going to do about, ask Speaker Ryan, what are you going to do about banning ARs and banning, you know, this and that? And I was with 3 of the other House members, and I looked across the room and I said, you know, as a businessman, who would I hire of the Democrats? None. And get this, to do anything. I wouldn't hire them to do anything. And that's a sad indictment of this country. But, you know, bring them on. Let them come. Let's fight this thing out. And I welcome the challenge. The Heritage Foundation, the Club for Growth, I made all the great scores. Conservatism is alive and well. And I will tell you that with this president, it's just the beginning. For tax cuts, it's just the beginning for regulations. I had a liberal the other day that came up, who's a good friend of mine. I said, how do you think Trump's doing? Hate him. Oh, really? Tell me what you don't like. He's a business guy. I said, tell me what you don't like. Those tweets. I said, really? Did you read a tweet or not read a tweet? He said, well, maybe. I said, no, you don't have to read a tweet. You don't like his tweets. I said, let me tell you, there's a strategy behind it. When he says Wolf Blitzer's an idiot and CNN's off their rocker, he's making all these conservative judges. He loves to get them in a fight, and they get in a tizzy. They don't have any sense. So I know you got a lot of speakers, but come to Washington, D.C. I'm going to ask you for your money this time. We're going to have a tough school, take another $1 million probably. But I think we can raise it because the country is on the right track. God help us if Clinton had gone in. God help us. And if you want, as I tell people, you may not like my votes, consider what Nancy Pelosi. If you don't like conservatives, you vote for whoever. Archie Parnell will vote for Nancy Pelosi. If you want that, if that's your values, put her in there because it's not good for the country, it's not good for the state, it's not good for the hard-working people that deserve better. Thank you for your support. I'm not going to filibuster, but I'll be happy to answer your questions.
I just want to make a statement, and that is to thank you for what you're doing up in Washington, D.C. Because when you ran, you said you were going to be a conservative, and you have lived up to every expectation, every hope that I've had. And so I'm so thankful for your votes.
Well, you know, like the tax cuts just weren't hard for me. And I would say, is it everything that everybody had a dentist who called me, said, Ralph, I don't like these tax cuts. I said, let me be blunt with you. You know, you're in the upper income bracket, it's not going to help you. But it's for middle class. It's for what Trump said it was going to be. You know, so many of these things just aren't that hard. We've got some real battles to tackle. The headwinds we face as conservatives are cutting this debt, national debt, $22 trillion. I wasn't elected to bankrupt the country. And I'm going to put out some reports that just, if each of us, 435 members, would just cut, I can find $5 billion in just about any program, and I'm putting that out. And if we just work together and cut the waste out, this thing I did, the bill I did on the ex-members of Congress abusing the system is not right. Now, a lot of them, you know, they're mad. So we'll be mad. I mean, you know, it's not right what you do. Have them use the gym and come in and get all the benefits. No, run for Congress again. Put your name on the line again if you want to do that. But no, it's a pleasure to serve. Let us help you. Come to D.C. and it's a great place to see. It's so great to be going to the White House now. Last 8 years, now we're welcome. Elaine's doing the tours. Come by and let us help you. The tours up there are amazing. But let us help you. It's a real privilege to serve you. I'll be having the kickoff probably on the, and all of you will be getting notices on the March, probably the 12th. That's the only time I'm back to be able to do it. We'll have a tour all over the district. And let us hear from you. If we're not doing something that you need done, let us know, because we want to do it. I want to involve you in this election because there is a lot at stake. I will tell you that. And it's just a privilege. Yes, sir.
You voted for NATO, which was a bad vote on the Freedom Index that just came out.
Mhm.
Do you agree with that vote, or would you next time would you vote against NATO? It's unconstitutional for the United States to be involved in NATO, as it commits our troops to any battle that NATO commits us to, which is unconstitutional because Congress has to declare war. Next time the vote comes up, I forgive you as a Christian. I understand not all of us.
Thank you.
I forgive you. You did 2 more votes wrong, so you scored a 67%. And Mick Mulvaney used to get about 80–90%, but we want you to be at 100%. And so next time NATO comes up, will you vote against NATO?
You know, that particular vote was not that well discussed, nor was it that well thought out. That 67, all of our members, the conservative members, really didn't get over 70. That vote was weighted pretty heavily. I don't know what Heritage mentioned on that. I would look.
It's the John Birch Society, it's the Freedom
Oh, yeah,
Index
I know that.
by the New American Magazine.
Right. No, I'd look at that, but overall, I didn't feel comfortable with voting like that, and somebody sent me that.
Well, next time I hope you vote against it, and I forgive you for your vote.
We don't get them all right. We get a lot of them right, I'll say that. Right. Yes, sir.
Do you know when you'll be filing with the FEC that you intend to run for candidacy again?
March 15th. I have through March 15th through the 30th. And let me tell you this, as Tyler said, the Democrats, I'm going to be having money from California coming against me. We're going to have a lot of money. I'm one of the 40 races just because he got within 3,000 votes, which was good. But it's going to be a lot of money spent. Now is their only time to pick conservatives like me off. They miss this time, they know it's going to be a tough time because incumbents, when you vote right, you've got a constituency and a base. So now's the time to get involved and to tell your constituents to get involved. But March, I think I'm home that weekend. I have to go to Columbia and file like I did before, but during that time, 15th through 30th.
I'd like to ask a personal question.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
63, 64. No, she says I look like I'm 45. I had a guy come up, I was speaking somewhere, and he looked at me and said, God, you're old. He said, you got gray hair, your wrinkles. I said, sir, I guess that's what Washington does to me. But thank you, I do appreciate that. Thank y'all.